Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rasha and we are playing KSP 1.3. The whole episode began at Charlene wrote to me in one of my videos. She wrote to me, why don't you put the wheels on top of the roof of the Rover, so when it flips over you can just drive away. And that was a really good idea actually, but it led to this has led to this Rover convention we are having here. So we have a testing platform here, different Rovers I've built over the 5 years, because 5 years? The 5 hours I spent building rovers and trying to learn about rovers, as I haven't built rovers before. So in front of us we have one of my experiments here. As you may know that car suspensions go up and down, but often if you look at a motorcycle you can see they have an angle suspension. So why is this interesting in rover design? You ask because first of all you get a lower profile, so you get a lower center of mass where you're not top heavy. So yeah, that was the interesting thing. I have to build something bigger, but this is my prototype trying this out. So we will start trying out these different rovers. So the test is about how can we deliver these beautiful rovers to another planet or moon. So yeah, I need to go to our testing platforms where we have Yabadaya with us here, our expert test pilot here. So we have different delivery systems here. We can first look at the space plane hangar here. It looks quite big, but it's not that big as it looks. So that's one of the reasons why we have Yabadaya with us today. He will represent a Kerbal size, so we know how big these things are, because it can be really hard to know if you just see it, because you have nothing to compare it to. So here we have our typical 2.5 meters service bay here. So that is the one probably which we can scram into one of our smaller rovers inside. And we have the space plane hangar just because I want to get a feel how big things are, so we can build better rovers. So yes, I suppose to build a rocket that can take our rover over here to the moon, but I got sidetracked and this was fun too. So let's start by dropping this here. So we have the two different thrusts here. We have the coupler that decouples from both sides, so it's not stuck to anything. So let's deliver our service spray here and decouple. As you can see, it is loose on both sides. And then we have one of these 1.2, what is it? 1.25 meters one, so half the size of the other one. I don't think we will be able to fit any. Let's just toggle the brakes here so it doesn't escape us here. So that is one of the smaller service space. So yeah. Oh, let's open that again. And here we have the docking. We dock it inside. The benefit of using ports like this is if you can, for example, attach a port over here, you can drive with your low profile rover here, and then you can attach it again and fly away. So that's a good thing. The coupler thing is more convenient because it can be a bitch to actually make things, those ports line up, especially when you try to attach a whole rover to it. So let's see. So the steering is right here because okay, so yeah, but okay, let's deactivate the brake system. So yeah, the test platform is not the best. I think I threw it up in a couple of minutes just to have something to get all of these parts out here so we can test them with our rovers here. So okay, it's not supposed to be the best system in the world. We just want something that can... Okay, let's activate the brakes so it doesn't go away. Otherwise, if you leave a rover without the brake system on, you can come back and it has rolled around a lot. So, oh yeah. So I made a ladder here, but I think, yeah, but I can survive the jump here or the fall here. It shouldn't be such a big problem, I think. It's not big, yeah, it hurts, but that is job. So, okay, cool. So let's run him over here so we can we need some idea how big things are. So as you can see here, I'm not sure how tall this is, but yeah, kerbals are quite short. So here we have you as an example. Okay, cool. So here we have the Rover Generation 2 with thrusters. I wonder if we can thrust in okay, another test. I don't think it will give us force enough to turn around in this. We are after all having the strong gravity of Kerbal here, so our thruster doesn't work, but yeah, now we know for sure. So here we have one of the first rover. We have the Rover 3.5 there, and this was the first one I built. And you can see why I scrapped it. It's very bulky. We could attach some science stuff there. I'm done there, but it's so big. So, oh no, this is the fly. We are not. I'm talking about the wrong one. So yeah, I call it a fly just because yeah, it does fly wings. So first of all, we need to deactivate the brake system, and how anti-flip system here is we are using a reaction wheel, so we can turn around. So let's drive it over here. It looks like those wheels are turning in the wrong direction, so let's inverse that. Okay, cool. As it is quite squarish in design, it will not turn very good. As you can see here, it doesn't react really well. If this was one that could benefit maybe by angle the wheels a bit, so then it will be easier to handle. I think it should fit inside here. That was the thought at least, but so let's see. Yeah, it should fit inside here. I can't close it here. Hopefully I can get it out again. Oh, it gets stuck on that one. So if I put it here under, so I get a little bit lower profile, it should fit inside there. So that design is successful in that way. So what would you want to do here? We can drive it over here to Kerbal. So as you can see, it's quite big. It's quite big. It doesn't look big, but it depends on what you have to compare with. So the anti-flippy system is this. So let's try this out. Reaction wheel running. So now we can. As you can see, so yeah, we can flip it around there, and so you can use your reaction wheel as a flap, as a anti-flip system. So let's put on the brakes here so it doesn't get confused, and let's go to the next rover. So what do we have? Rover run. Yeah, that was my first design. It's current, and I don't think it will even fit inside here. It's too wide. It's too wide. I think I would have to go. Yeah, so yeah, it's easy to be them too big, as it doesn't look very big in the space hangar, but look at this. This wheel is so big that Kerbal is smaller than the wheel. So let's do something fun with this. Should have some speed here, so let's see if we can do something. It handles fairly well. So yeah, let's just go jump with it and then we will leave it. Okay, there we go. So let's put on the brakes. Go to the next one. So here we have the Charlene double wheels. It's actually quite decent idea. The only thing that I think has led me to building all these different rovers is yeah, you can see it will never fit inside. And this is the smallest wheel in the games. I'm just thinking the handle must inverse steering. That is right. That is not right. It's quite, it handles quite well, and we have another reaction wheel here. But the problem is that is to, even when I stack the wheels on top of each other so it clips inside them, it's too big to get into this service bay. We can probably get it into the space plane, stop, and you could, in a weightless environment, we could, let's drive inside here, so. It fits perfectly here. So you can see here, if we have to remove the front, if you have removed the front solar panels here and replace them with one of those Fermi ones, we could attach, or we could attach a small port like that one there, and then we could attach another port here, so we can attach it here. In a weightless environment, that should probably work. If you put some monopropellant tank here, you can use thrusters, and then you can escape this loading bay here. But yeah, and as you can see now we are stuck, and that's why it's gonna be very good to have a reaction wheel. And now we have seen the let's see if we can get on-side the wheels again. It works quite well. It's quite safe, and the thing is with let's see here. Okay, let's leave it here. I don't want to anger it. Yeah, the thing is with that one is that yeah, you could probably use it in that way. So here we have the 3.5 versions of the final version of my moon rover here, and as you can already see, is huge. If I have attached maybe some solar wheels, I could maybe get the size down. As we can see here, the suspension thing on this, let's break here. The suspension thing on this thing is quite big. So if I went with one of those brown wheels instead, I could probably get the size down in this direction, and then maybe we could drive it inside one of these space hangars. Let's check out. Maybe. Yeah, it will be tight. It will be very tight. And we can forget about the server space. So yeah, let's go crash this one. After all, we have so. And the delivery, I will make one. Okay, let's build up some real speed here. The delivery system will be here from a decoupler or something on the bottom on a rocket. So, because that is the only way we can deliver it. But as you can see, this thing is really fast. So we're driving around almost over highway speeds with cars. So let's see. So there we go. Okay, can switch. Let's activate the braking system. And here we have a different design I've tried out here. This is a more barrel-shaped one. Also, to try to gain some smaller size, it's quite tiny. So, okay, so let's deactivate the brakes and try it out. Let's first go over to the service bay. The benefit of having a barrel shape is it's so easy to attach another docking port here. So I think that I'm just not sure about how high it is or tall. So this one works really well there. If I would put the antenna a little bit little bit lower, it will not fit here. But as you can see, the antenna is really big. And I think this one was the smallest one. And once again, I think this design will be a little bit less wonky if I went going with the angle approach to the suspension wheels. So the wheels will be here and here instead. That will mean that it will have a little bit easier to turn and stuff. But as you can see, this is the smallest one if we compare it to Kerbal. And that is really hard to see in the space plane hangar or everything. So I wonder if it can go up. It's a little bit tiny for this kind of delivery system, I think. I just want to check out how strong it is. And I put all the science but the gravity one there, the big one. That looks like a motor. Yeah, this one, I think this one is a winner. I really think so. With angled wheels, it will be even better, and it will still be tiny and still have room for things. I think this was the whole reason that started that was Charlene, because she was telling about speaking about that double wheels up on both sides, and I thought, yeah, we really need something, because before we the atmosphere on the Eve is about as thick as yellow. So taking Kerbal there will be very dangerous and tough, but if we can deliver one of these lightweight rovers, we could make a design, because when we're talking about a thick atmosphere, it means that we need a lot of delta V and power, so every weight can make it. So this is our last delivery done, so it will not require as big rockets to put it down safely. If you compare it to a pod that weighs around 2 tons, I think this thing is maximum of a half ton. Yeah, we can see the mass here is 547. So okay, I want to try it out on Eve, so we will cheat here. We'll finish the episode here by see if this design has a chance on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I decided we will want to try this out for reals here. We have our small rover here, and not a very creative name on it, maybe, but it doesn't really matter what we call it. So let's grab that wheel and we will angle it, and then we will try it out, and then we will cheat ourselves to Eve. So let's mirror that and see if we... This is hard. It's hard to angle it. It's really hard. Okay, that's good. It's really hard. You have to do this manually. So I'm not sure if that is correct. So we are 90 meters. Oh man, this is beautiful. And we haven't been to Eve any longer, but I want to know if this rover can make it here. Oh, okay. The gravity is really strong here, but I think it should be doable. So revert to launch. Okay, we have a small preview of Eve, at least. It seems like, I know the gravity is stronger than curving, and then we have a thicker atmosphere, and I see it can be really dangerous there. So, yeah, that was everything for this episode, and as always, thank you for watching.